Oh my gosh, this is amazing. What a day. So good to see you. And I can see other names there that I recognize. Some I don't recognize yet. I'm just really glad that you're here and you're here for a reason, right? Let's talk about stress, baby. Let's talk about anxiety. Look, I'm riffing. I'm riffing. That's the way we're happening. It's Tuesday, the 27th of May, and we deserve care. We deserve an hour for ourselves. We need strategies. We need time to just sort of reflect and figure out what a next step could be. So I am really glad you're here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you all 10 points. You all get 10 points for being present, logging into the Zoom, being here. Look at you. And those of you with your cameras on, I am loving that. I feel like I'm not alone. You know that? Yeah. Yeah. We need that. Feeling not alone, feeling validated, feeling part of the collective. Yeah. But you know what? I know that I'm never alone in Broadmind. It's always Sam and I. Sam is here too. Sam has got, he's he's the engine. He's the engine that keeps things going. He takes care of not only the work that we're trying to do, but of course you. He's our client care manager. So Sam, thank you. And yes, 10 points to all of you. You know, there's other points. There's other points throughout. We do have an hour scheduled. Actually, the material that I've got is shorter than an hour as a gift to you. The idea here, though, is I've given us that block of an hour because after we go through the relief, the skills, the discussion, I was hoping if one of you, two, three, four or more of you wanted to stay behind to talk a little bit more, my time is for you. And as a collective, we're trying to figure out some real cool skills, knowledge, and strategies so that we can make our workplaces and ourselves better. All right, does everyone see the cool slide? Yeah? Okay. That's as cool as it's gonna get. That's what we got. I am, like I said, thankful that you're here. I'll do a quick little hello about me. So I'm Sherry Lachine, and I am the founder and lead facilitator of Broadmind. I've been doing this type of work for over 10 years. I've met thousands of people right across the country in courses like mental health first aid, the working mind, and more. And I've heard a lot of stories around what stress and anxiety does, not only in the workplace, but at home. And have been talking with and navigating with others the whole idea of what are the skills that we need? What's the knowledge that we need today? Because I got to let you know that many of us weren't taught these skills when we were little. I'm a Gen Xer, and I know for a fact I didn't learn a lot of these skills growing up. So we're playing a little bit of catch up in terms of our mental health and our mental well-being. And especially when we spend 60% of our waking hours in places where we work, volunteer,
Yeah,
I think
sure.
it's pretty important that we start to figure out ways to increase our management of stress, our knowledge of supporting others, and more. So today, for this almost hour, I'm hoping there's a couple of things that happen. That I'm bringing you some of the skills that I've heard from across the country and research-based and a lot of mental health best practices. And I'm hoping that you also get a little bit of relief just for yourself. Who doesn't want relief? Anyone here? Anyone here want some relief? Yeah, thanks, Anne. Yeah, me too. A little bit of, got it. So I put this picture up. I was just searching pictures about, the idea of stress and anxiety, because that's the title of this session. And so I thought I would ask all of you, what does stress and anxiety look like at work? Like, what do you think comes up when you say, well, yeah, I want to be able to manage stress and anxiety in employees? What are we talking about? What does that look like? And you can use the chat. You put your hand up. Heather, you want to come on in? Because you get 20 points for coming on in.
I can come in via audio. My camera will only show the side of my face. So, I mean,
No problem.
come on in. Here comes the side of my face.
Well done,
Um,
Heather. 20 points.
it's you can't define it. It's different for everyone. It can be the really quiet person suddenly becoming a babbler, or that quote TMI, too much information person,
Yeah.
or the person who is your office chatty Cathy completely shuts down, or in terms of the line of work that I'm in, where mental health is really like top tier stuff right now that we're talking about because it's construction and people in the skilled trades just sort of doing that head down, got to get the job done, whether my body hurts, my mind hurts, my heart hurts. And so it's different for everyone. But like you said, we spend so much time in terms of our days with the same crews in terms of my line of work, where I have commented before, because I'm also the first aid instructor when we talk about mental health and mental health crises. These are people you spend 10 to 16 hours a day with, could be 5 to 6 days a week. You get to spend more time with them often than with your family, and
Right.
you learn people's tells, but they're all going to be different. You just this it can be a subtle shift, it can be a major shift, but
It's
there's no one specific thing like stress and anxiety looks like this. For me, stress and anxiety looks like if I'm incessantly, obsessively cleaning at home, my husband knows something's up because I need control and I can control cleaning the mess when I
right.
can't control what is actually stressing me out. That's my tell.
Beautiful. You deserve that 20 points, Heather. That was really well said, that it can manifest in many different ways. And the fact that we spend a lot of time with the people that we work with, it has an impact on us and we have an impact on them. And so, and I do appreciate, Heather, that you shared that, when you start to obsessively clean, that's your tell. That is like, I know that something's going on. Yeah, I appreciate you very much. There was someone else with a hand up. I don't want to lose you. I think it would come on in. It's 20 points. Like that is, thanks, Yasmin. Come on in. What did you notice?
Sorry, I'm off the camera. Is it okay?
All good. All good. You still get your 20
Thank you.
points.
Thank you. For me, it's like I get stressed
Yeah.
when I have to talk about someone to the supervisor, to the someone which is at fault, but I don't know how I feel it bad that I'm going to mention this thing which is not aligned with the policy, which is not aligned with the thing. So
Right.
that stresses me a lot. I try to take longer to explain it in such a way that it shouldn't go back to the person. So that's my, I hope you understand that what I mean.
I,
So explaining myself that I'm right and other person is wrong is my biggest stress at work.
Yasmin, I think you're not alone there. I think there's a lot of, but that's what I didn't mean that, or trying to explain yourself over and over again. Frustration reigns in that sense. And yes,
Yeah,
yeah. And it sounds like you're also
yes.
trying to implement
And
policy to help you be seen and heard.
yeah, and like the other person might have not seen those policies and might have not working on those lines. And she's unaware, and she's superior to me in position, or not superior to me in position,
Right.
but still I have to talk about the facts, I mean to say. That makes me a little stressed that is it going to be bad on his or her
Right.
goal? Yeah.
Yes, and wouldn't it be lovely if we could get to a point where we don't have to invoke policy and we could be seen and heard within our moments of communication, before getting into the entanglements of, getting other people involved in a significant way, but
Yeah.
also knowing that you're supported in what you're trying to accomplish. Yasmin, I 20 points. That's well deserved. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
These are important. The frustration is real. And can you feel how that can create stress and then resulting maybe in anxiety, these symptoms of anxiety? And I'm just going to go to the chat too. Sandra, you said gossip and complaining, right? We are what we say and what we do. And that could be the programming language of like a negatively toxic workplace, but it's also a symptom of, I don't know what else to do. And so this is the outlet. I agree with you. It's a very good tell. Janet, when I'm stressed, I can't focus and my mind is in overdrive. Hello. Yep, I'm feeling you there. That ruminating, even trying to solve the problem in your head over and over again, it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. And if our limited resource is our time and our energy, it'd be really cool if we're spending it on the things that are meaningful for us and the people that we're supporting. Sandra even saying present physically, but mentally absent. Yeah, huge. And I think some people call that presenteeism, where you're there, but you're not there. And that can lead to a whole slew of safety problems, additional complaining and gossip, toxicity in terms of, how people are interacting in the workplace and more. And Whitney's like, woo, well said. Yeah. Pam, emotional roller coaster. Yep. Please let me get off this emotional roller coaster. So let's talk about some of that too. And is it Shitscock? What, yes, I'm hoping I said that right. I'm stressed right now, being pulled in many directions. I just told my staff I'm not available to anyone for the next hour. And that in itself is causing you stress. I appreciate you. You know what? I'm going to give you 25 points for the extra little effort there. And I'm hoping that, some of the skills that we're going to talk about can give you not only maybe some relief in the moment, but then something you can try going forward to just give you and hope about the calm that's to come. Ina, when we don't talk about the problem, yeah, we ignore, dismiss, or avoid. Yeah, we're really good at that. And it can cause a lot of friction, misunderstandings, and complaints. Pam, you're saying mental exhaustion equals physical exhausted day after day after day. Agreed. Right? Exhaustion is real. It feels like this wet blanket that's sapping the energy out of your hope, your joy, your desire to do good things. And Heather, oh, this is me, Heather, snapping at people who are not part of the issue. So it's a very big misdirect and sarcasm. It's 60% truth, but what are they being sarcastic about? And how are they delivering that message? And how is it landing? I like to think of these moments that we're bringing up. I like to say that maybe these are our own personal check engine light. Has anyone ever seen the check engine light come on in your car? Yeah. And what do you do about it when you see that check engine light come on in the car?
That's the thing that's stressing me out. The check engine light in my car.
Is it really? Is it going off right now, Heather?
Oh my God.
Yeah, stop and check.
Okay, you're not alone. There's Ana saying, I do nothing, nada. And then laugh out loud. I have one right now. Try to figure out what the problem is or ignore it. And even the exhausted equals non-productive. Yes, Kunandi. So this check engine light is interesting because I've heard a lot of symptoms here about knowing when we're stressed or we're in this anxious state. Makes it hard for us to be present, to work, to do what we need to do. And it's step one, figuring out what our check engine light is, and then our resulting reaction. Like even Yasmin, you're saying, you stop and check. Nice, I love that. But for years, I've been sort of the person that puts tape over it, the one that just ignores what's going on, right? La, 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 la. It's not there. But the idea, though, is the check engine light is saying that there's something going on in your car. Your check engine light could be irritation, exhaustion, snapping at people, not being present. And then it's, what can you do about that? Because, of course, step one is figuring out, when am I at the end of my rope? When am I afraid? And what can I do about it? So let's talk about some of those things, shall we? Right. And these are the skills and the knowledge that I think we all need to elevate our situation today. Because we can live in a workplace, in a home life, in our life that we enjoy. It does take a little elevating of our skills and our knowledge. And to double that up, it also helps when everyone is elevating their skills and knowledge. So not just one person in the office, but the collective, right? Raising that. And Kunanda, you're saying self-care is not selfish. Yeah. I like to call it self-health care, right? That we actually find ways to take care of our health by ourselves. Because the cost of not addressing, unaddressed stress and anxiety, the stats point to things like 70% of us report stress that impacts our productivity and our presence. Mental health cases and related absences are on the rise. I just had a conversation with a family member who actually helps people connect with care. And they said in their office, 75% of the claims are now as a result of mental health and well-being. The term burnout, overwhelm, being disengaged is really on the rise. And people are connecting to these ideas. I don't even have to give you a definition of burnout for you to recognize, okay, I know what that means. I think I understand that feeling. And so recognizing that the cost of unaddressed stress changes the entire environment. So I was just going to ask you, and Sam created a couple of polls. He reminded me before we started. Thank you, Sam. So let's go out to you. How confident, actually, if you put that poll up, Sam, then I can read the title, because my brain, I'm going to call it menopause. I'm in menopause. So the brain is not hundy pee. So how confident are you in supporting employees with stress and anxiety? So if you're responsible for people, or even you're a leader without a title, you're in the environment, this is an anonymous poll. Let me know what you think. How confident are you? Yeah, bring it. Yes. Oh my gosh, you want music? Almost there. Almost there. Okay. Let's do a 5, 4, 3, 2. Snap it. Pull. Thanks, Sam. Let's see what we got. Okay, I know this feeling. How confident we are in supporting employees with stress and anxiety may be that, you know what, we try to help, but we're worried about saying the wrong thing. I know that feeling. And clearly, 67% of us understand what that feeling is. And so what we tend to do in that sense then is, with that worry, well, that may consume us, but also we may dismiss, avoid, ignore, or create a story that, oh, you know what, that's Sheila. She'll get over it. She'll be fine. Or that's Joe. He's just going through a dip. And so we ignore what's going on, to the detriment of not only that individual, but the collective as well. There are ways that we can connect with each other and get more confidence in asking those questions with the things to say that have been proven to help, and the way of showing up that's been proven to help. And I love that 17% of you know exactly what to do or say. Boom, right? So keep doing what you're doing. And even sometimes, you know what? Even though I know what to say and to do, I've said the wrong thing. Because even what I know to say and do, it didn't land on someone. It was actually somebody's trigger, believe it or not. Can you imagine? So there are superpowers or skills that you can learn in order to manage that situation as well. So we'll talk to you about those skills. Because don't we all deserve those skills so that we know and get more confidence? And I do love that the 12%, the 5% say, I'm lost. No one's taught me how to handle that. Okay, let's talk about that. And I avoid these conversations altogether. Yeah, I think you met my husband. No, he's getting there. He's getting there. We're all getting there. Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for that. You know what I've come to realize too is we do try to be present, to show up for people, but there might be some pitfalls in that too. And I've been here. This whole idea that we try to fix for people if they're stressed or overwhelmed or exhausted, or maybe they're complaining or gossiping. Maybe we try and fix something in their workload or try to change the conversation or try to cheerlead. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. Come on, tomorrow's going to be a better day. You got the skills. So this cheerleading aspect may miss the point of an important conversation so that people can actually connect with their skills to move through these hard situations. So that could be a pitfall. Or this, like I've heard in the chat, and then even in that poll, that maybe we avoid the conversation entirely. And I know that feeling too. Especially when I'm hungry, angry, lonely, tired. I may not want to dive into these conversations. But it's about checking in on it myself to recognize maybe not now, but when. Anne, you're saying hangry? Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, that's why I had my lunch before the lunch. This is a good reminder, though, that for those that are on lunch, feel free, eat, nourish your body, nourish yourself. And then I heard this too, this whole idea of wanting to say the right thing instead of either the real thing or showing up with compassion and care, showing up so that other people feel seen and heard, or just offering a moment of comfort or validation. I get the sense, and I've lived this part of my life where I thought my life was a little bit of a Hollywood movie where I had to say the right thing at the right time. And then I expected some sort of music to play and everybody was okay. And it's not that way. When we show up with the right intention, we're actually making a big impact. And so paying attention to those potential pitfalls. Oh, I had another poll, didn't I, Sam? What was the second one? What's your biggest fear? Let's go for another poll because you know what? Sam created the polls. We're going to use them, right? They're free. So what's your biggest fear when an employee opens up about stress? What comes to you? And this time I think I'm going to do music. I think so. There. That way I didn't have to count you down. You know the song. All right. What's our biggest fear? When someone starts to open up, actually starts to share, you're being present, you're trying this out. Well, the number one answer is 36%. It'll become my responsibility to fix their problems. Wow, this is an important consideration because I also know that feeling. And what we're going to start to learn is that we're not responsible for how people feel, think, and act. Now, there are policies, there are things that we have to pay attention to, of course, but their problem doesn't become your responsibility without you deciding that. Have you ever heard of the word boundaries? Yeah. So there's something about having a boundary around whether or not we let that problem become ours. So that's a real valid fear and concern. Thank you. And tied for second, I won't have the right words and I'll make it worse. Yeah, I hear you. And I don't know how to help without overstepping my boundaries. Yeah. Yeah. These are skills. These are things that we can learn. So problem identification, step one. And step two, what do we do about it? I think I'm just checking a box and truly not caring. I hear that a lot as well. I hear that a lot. All right. Thank you, all of you. Yeah, because those fears are real. And Pam, I like that you said trying to fix or cheerlead without concrete solutions just seems to anger my coworker. Sometimes if my stress and anxiety gets too bad, I have to avoid conversations with coworkers as I can't allow myself to get any worse. That's a boundary there too. I appreciate you sharing that. And Pam, it may be true if you're a manager and they are your employee, different if a fellow employee reaches out. You're right. The relationships do dictate some of the boundary limits. But I guess when it comes to if someone shares a big, a significant emotional challenge, like grief, loss, a new diagnosis, and more, we don't own it. We've got to figure out a way to empower them and give them tools to move forward. As a mental health professional, if I held the thousands of people's stories that I get to hear, I would not be able to function. And so finding ways to just take on a little bit for compassion and then enable them for next steps. Yeah, well done. Brilliant. So some of the skills that we're really talking about is we want to help enable people with stronger, clearer communication. We want to reduce misunderstandings. To be clear is to be kind. And there's a foundational skill set to get there. And it's not necessarily communication skills. So I'm going to tell you about the foundational skill set. Conflict resolution. Anyone here ever been in a conflict? Conflict everywhere. Conflict. Yes. This be human. This be very human. And the idea here is, yeah, we can learn conflict resolution skills. Again, there is a foundational set of skills in order to get there. We're going to talk about that. What about the ability to solve problems together, collaboratively, efficiently, and with confidence? Knowing that everyone's voices matter and they're adding to the pool of knowledge to try and figure out what a good next step is instead of having the fool's choice where you just go, yeah, whatever he said. Yeah, yeah. Problem solving as a collective. And that collaboration too, that feels productive and supportive. Flow within the collective. And this I hear over and over again. I've been asking year over year, what are the human skills that we need as humans in order to thrive in our workplaces? And time again, people are saying, I need empathy, I need compassion, I need connection, I need presence. Yeah. So how do you get there? I'm going to share with you the foundational skills to get there. Wouldn't that be great? I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to give you a tiger, right? We're talking about stress. We're talking about anxiety. Snap. This is the best tiger picture that I've been able to find. And I wanted to put that up there because in psychology and psychological terms, we talk about the tiger that jumps into the room, right? If you imagine where you are right now and a tiger, saber tooth or other, jumps into the room, what are you going to do? Like, what is your reaction? And everyone may or may not have heard of that whole idea of fight, flight, freeze idea. It is a foundational way that we humans manage stress. And once we understand this, and once we see how it manifests, that will give us some relief. Knowledge is power in this sense. But also practicing managing the tigers in our lives is huge. Because I'm not talking about the furry tiger, right? I'm not really talking about an actual tiger. I'm talking about the emails that you're getting from your boss that says, can you stay after work? I need to talk to you. I'm talking about even about the text that you get from your partner that says, yeah, what you said last night was not okay. I'm not coming home tonight. Right? These are tigers. Or the time crunch, the stressors that we have day to day to just get our lives going. And I got to tell you, in 2025, we're almost at the midpoint of 2025, and it's been a year. And I got to tell you, the stressors today are more than I think we've ever seen. And I grew up in the 70s. There were very few stressors. I mean, we had the game Operation, we had the game Perfection. Those were stressors. Every one of our games were stressors. But we didn't have phones that told us almost every second of the day what was going on, what you needed to do. The tigers are everywhere. And we humans foundationally manage ourselves still the same way that we did thousands of years ago. We will go into fight, we will go into flight, and we will go into freeze. And so, you know what? Talking about this whole idea of what does that look like? A flight response, because if the tiger jumped in, some people are going to fight it, right? They're going to go and scratch his eyes out or do something. That's not me. But when that fundamental, that tiger, that email, this stressor in the meeting where someone dismissed your idea, maybe your fight response is that you're frustrated and irritable. Maybe you snap at others. Maybe you engage in controlling behavior, trying to manage the situation. Maybe you blame others. And I'm saying this like, because I've been there. Maybe your body tenses up. You clench your fists or your jaw, or that stress lives in you. That could be your flight response. Oh, that's a flight, not the fight. That's a flight response. Maybe I will review my slides before I start, but I'm hoping you get that was the fight response flight. Well, look at that. Typo. I would have given you 50 points if somebody pointed out a typo. That would really help as well. In any case, I hope you know what I'm talking about in terms of, that was the fight response. There's also, of course, a flight response. So if you can't fight the tiger, you're going to get out of there. And so maybe that could look like in workplaces where you withdraw from conversations. Maybe you leave meetings or you take frequent breaks. Maybe you become the overworker. You see people in excessive busyness to avoid dealing with stress, or even fidgeting and restless movements, even avoiding eye contact. Do you see what that could be? Do you know what we've talked about at the beginning of this? Can you now see that these are fundamental stress responses? And even this freeze response where you shut things down or you feel stuck, that could be mental fogginess. You might see people going quiet or zoning out, or increased procrastination, or maybe they're disconnected from the work. And this one here, I like focusing on too, because it comes up a lot, this idea of people pleasing. And it could be a fawn response, something that is a little bit shutting down, but then also trying to make sure that nothing else stressful is impacting you or the people around you. So that could be you agreeing quickly, or the employees and the people around you. That could be over apologizing. Hello. That's not just a Canadian thing. It could be difficulty setting boundaries. Maybe you change your opinion, or you focus on other people's priorities more than yours. Do you see how this stress response can manifest in many different ways? And Pam, you're saying flight, increased sick time. Agreed. Absolutely. And I love that too from Schützcock. Thank you. Working together. Yeah. Oh, you're Sue. Thank you. Yes. Fantastic. And Sandra, you're saying, holy crow. I've never heard of the fawn response before. That's 100% people I know, possibly even myself. Absolutely. And so again, identification is step one. And then what do you do about it? So here's some of the relief that I was talking to you about. As many of you know, if you know me, you know that I used to be an engineer, but now I'm a mental health professional. Yeah, it's been a bumpy career path. I kind of like it, but it was bumpy. One of the things that I really like about being a mental health professional is I go to my engineering roots like tools. I want tools. Thanks, Pam. And so this tool I found from the Department of National Defense, which is called the Mental Health Continuum. I call it a mental health thermometer. It's a way of getting a sense of where you are in your day-to-day management of stress. And so green is that healthy part, how we feel, think, and act. It's how we're behaving that helps us manage our day-to-day. And it looks healthy for us and the people around us. Yellow is the reaction. So maybe that could be just a little bit of a fever. You know, if we're talking about thermometer, a little bit of a fever where we're reacting, that irritability, that check engine light stuff going on. How do we feel it? How do we react? How do we manage it? And some of us are learning to manage that really well. Some of us all have learned how to manage it well. And some of us are still yet to learn that, because a stressor will come and we'll react instead of figuring out ways to respond. That's a skill set. Because if we stay in that yellow without addressing it and managing it to get back to that green, could be an injury. Just like that ankle that was hurting and you're like, I'm going to keep running. I'm going to keep running on it. I'm going to keep working out, and something happens. An injury can become more of a prolonged impairment, harder to manage. We're in cope, survive, survive, survive. That's not in our best interest, and that's not in the best interest of the people around us. So identification is step one, because if we're not managing through those steps, we could move right into a diagnosed condition. Our workplaces, they can help us move back to green or propel us into that red. And when we're orange and red, I got to tell you, wait lists, they're long. And so figuring out how do we create a collective that understands this and helps people move back to green. Because I'm here to tell you, there's a flow state. There's something else that we could do. There's blue, purple, which I'm like, mwah, chef's kiss. This optimal functioning, this time where we feel good, we feel energetic, we're curious, optimistic. Snap. I remember during the pandemic, I was like, where is my blue, purple? I think I felt a full hour of blue, purple throughout the entirety of the pandemic. It's something that might be elusive at times, but it is something to strive for. Because don't we want our best selves to show up at work and more? So I wanted to give you additional tools. So that thermometer is a tool, and Sam put it in the chat too. Click on it. Give yourself that tool set to check in on yourself, but then also to help others check in on themselves, or even give you a perspective of where people are on the thermometer. You want more compassion, more empathy? Maybe get a sense that something has propelled them into an orange state. So something, yeah, the blue purple, Chantel, snap, right? Flow it. How do we get there? Well, this is how we get there. Okay, this is one of the steps of how we get there. I'm a firm believer in, if you want to have better communication, better collaboration, less conflict, and more, we got to elevate the skills and knowledge that each person has to be able to show up to perform those skills. And so what we do is we call it the self-care stack. And I saw before somebody said self-care is not selfish. Yeah, we got the description of self-care all wrong. Self-care is actually self-health care. And it is time that we learn how to take care of ourselves, because our healthcare system isn't going to be doing that for us. It's us. And no one is going to do the work. It's us. And actually, you know what? We can't force anyone to do the work, but we can give them structures, ideas, encouragement. And so what I thought I would do is I would give you this relief piece. When we talk about mental health and well-being, we talk about how we're feeling, thinking, and acting. And I'm here to say some of that could be really hard when we're stuck in cycles of rumination and pain. And so I'm here to tell you, when you feel like things are starting to slide, you feel that yellow, you feel that orange, start with your body. Take care of your body. Movement, nutrition, and sleep. Fundamentals. Samita, yes, perfect. Sam, if you can put a link to that as well. Taking care of your body will actually help you build the rest of your stack. And I'm here to show you the rest of the stack, which Sam is also going to put in the chat. We have a course on June 3rd. It's an hour long where we walk through the fundamentals of self-care so we can actually manage all those tigers, right? And then remember, if we elevate the collective and we all know how to manage the tigers, we're going to change the way our workplaces work. So start with your body. I'm here to tell you there are ways we can manage the tigers through our nervous system. Oh, this is what I'm seeing in the mental health space now. I've been working with Wounded Warriors Canada and veterans, and we've been talking about this for over a decade. We're talking about it now in workplaces. How do we manage our nervous system? Oh, and by the way, most of it's free. So we're going to talk about how do you manage the tigers for free on a daily basis. And then how do we talk about and manage how we feel, how we think, how we act. And then this social piece, how do we show up for other people? Yeah. Talk about the fundamentals of taking care of you. So if you sign up now, like we need more people signed up for that course next week. It's $29, people. Limited spaces, but I want to fill it up with everyone that's here today. Sign up. June 3rd, I want to see you. We're going to talk about the fundamentals of managing your tigers, the stress with you and the people around you. This I just put up because I want to check in. How are you doing? We're like at 12:42. I feel like I'm going over. But not over, I'm not going over 1 o'clock. Oh, I am mindful of your time. Best currency ever. Yeah. Mark, thank you. Okay, I put this up because I use this all the time. This whole idea of take a moment, a pause, check in with yourself, check in with the people around you. And it could be quirky. And you can use the thermometer, you can use this, but the idea is, how are you doing? And then actually want to know. Yeah. Thank you. I see some ones, I see eights, and I want to be a 6. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. The 8 is a frazzle moment for me too. 7, and I want to be a 1. Yes. You want to be the blue purple. Yes. A 4. Thank you. Yeah, so take a pause and check in with you. Another skill set for relief. You don't have to say or figure everything out in that moment. Post-lunch fatigue is setting in. Yeah. Yes, yes, I know. I know. So yes, stand up if you need to. Stand up, take deep breaths. Got this right now on this call. 1. Beautiful, Heather. I got to tell you, with a lot of the training that we're doing, and I'm pushing this self-care stack, as you can hear. June 3rd is our next one. I want to see you there. Sign up now. Sam, put that link in there again. The sign up link, $29. Like, I really think we're going to change, I was going to say, the world. One workplace at a time, one person at a time. We're just learning these fundamentals. Yeah, there's more that we can do, but I want to start there, learn the fundamentals. And we've seen with our construction clients that safety gets improved, customer support changes, managers, they say that there's less conflict, gossip, complaining. Things change. They just do when we elevate the skills and the knowledge that we have collectively. We want people to show up as their best selves. And so what you can do right now, I'm going to say it again. June 3rd is our next one. I want to see you there. If for some reason June 3rd is not working for you, we've got one in July. We've got one in August. And if you share that with other people, you get extra points as well. I think I got about 100 points per referral. Still haven't figured out how I'm going to get those to you, but you get 100 points. We're changing the world. If you want to do more now too, Sam is going to, oh, I see what you put. We've got other courses coming up too. And I'm going to let most of you go if you have to go, but if you want to stick around, I'll talk about the other courses. But I'm offering also, reach out to me. I want to chat with you more about what's going on. How can we help? I've been in every province in this country. I have brought mental health first aid and other trainings, and I've seen how it changes our workplace, our people, and not just our workplaces, but our home life. Because remember, these skills and knowledge aren't just for how we're spending our time at work. It's about how we're spending our time overall with our partners, our children, the people that we care about and for. Doesn't it make sense? So come, we chat, we find out more. And if I don't have an answer, I will find you an answer. I'll connect you with the people that you need. So we've got an approach that has a lot of different trainings. We even do bespoke sessions, recorded sessions. We do online learning that people can just click at their own discretion. People love it. It's delicious and it's tailored for you. So with that, 12:46. Okay. I went a little bit further than I thought I was, but I want to give you a pause in a moment. One question, one last poll. Sorry, I forgot the one last poll. What's holding you back? Sam, if you can do poll 4. What's holding you back? Holding you back from your company, bringing in mental health support. I just want to know. Beautiful. In 5, in 4, in 3, 2, and 1. We'll close that poll. Let's see what we got. All right, what's holding your company back? Number 1 answer, stigma. People worry about being judged. True story. Yeah. So we're going to change that. By talking about bringing people together to be human together, there's magic. I got to tell you, there's magic when we give people these moments to be human together. The stigma starts to go. It takes the air out of all of the sources of stigma, the stories of stigma. This training is a stigma buster. Beautiful. I love that. And no one knows how to start. We need a roadmap. Got you. I got you. Book the 30 minutes. And seriously, we'll design a roadmap. And I'm going to put another little, we'll design a roadmap that aligns with the standard for psychological health and safety in Canada. How do you not do that? Right? So we just take the psychological standard and we say, these are the things that you're doing that map to it. Here is your roadmap. We can design a structure. I love that you shared that. And leaders don't see it as a priority versus profits. I understand that. But it's time to start explaining, well, what is the loss in profits due to loss of productivity and absenteeism, presenteeism? Yeah. Love that. And then the we're too small. Thank you, Chantel. A company of 1. You can click on and just join some of our public courses. Yes, we thrive coming into workplaces, training the groups together, right? Getting those human moments is delicious. I got to tell you, it's delicious. Elevating the skills for a whole workplace. But also, yeah, we got courses. Join us. Join us. Yeah, well said. Well done. Pam, I think I saw something there. And you know what, Whitney, in pain science, we know explaining how pain works helps those with chronic pain. Do we know if explaining sympathetic versus parasympathetic nervous system impacts stress and anxiety? Does it have an impact on cortisol levels by just knowing about it? I don't know the actual answer there, but I'm going to align parallel those 2 research pieces. That with knowledge can come power. That's a Superman quote, I guess. But also power to know what to do, what levers to pull, what are the next things and next steps. So we talk about that. Brilliant. Yeah. Pam, is your company is all talk, no action? So you're going to have to be the change. You're going to be the change. You're going to join our courses. We're going to get you educated. You're going to be an advocate. We're going to have your back. Whoop, whoop. You're going to have information to bring into your organization. I got you, Pam. Let's do a 30-minute meeting. We'll chat. Even just to chat, like seriously. Okay, well done. We've got that. We've got that. Any other questions, thoughts, anything I'm missing? Can I hug all of you? Is this the time? Is this what we're doing now? Like seriously, I'm a hugger. But I do ask for permission. It's just, I have to leave. Thank you. Thank you, Yasmin. Leaves and yep. Steps in this body health. Chantal, go for it. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. Well done. Well done. Hopefully you felt a little bit of relief and there's some value there for you. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Big hug. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad you were here. Love it. I'm going to see you at the stack. See you at the stack next week. $29. Come on. Now I'm like, I'll see you there. Thank you. Thanks. Oh, Kelly, good to see you. Oh, I meant to reach out to you. Good to see you. Let's connect. Thank you. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Steve. Where are you in this world now? Where are you? Barry. Oh, yeah. Okay, we need to connect. Yeah, it's very good to see you. Yeah. Thank you. All right, everyone, go forth and take care of you. Well done.